going on, guys? Today, actually, I'm going to demonstrate how to synchronize audio and video. Now, as you can see right now, I'm using the audio from the actual camera. The audio from my camera, the quality isn't all that great. So I went ahead and bought a Zoom H1. I have made a review for this little device in the past. But now I'm going to show you how to actually synchronize the audio and the video. Now, a lot of filmmakers use a tool called a film slate. As you can see right here, that's a film slate. It's a thing. It's a tool to use. It makes a noise. It makes a clapping noise when it closes, and that allows you to basically get a visual effect. It's like a spike in the audio, the waveforms. It gives you a spike, so it's like a visual mark that lets you know when to synchronize or where to synchronize. In this video, I will show you exactly how to synchronize on Final Cut Pro. Now, you could use a film slate, but I personally don't, and a lot of people don't because there's a different technique on doing it. And the best part of this technique is it's free. You don't have to worry about going out and buying a slate. A slate is useful because on top of it making noise, on top of it being used to synchronize audio, it also lets you write down and mark, have a visual mark for the scene and the take. What else? The name of the director, producer, whatever it is. You know, you could have all that written on there. I'm sure plenty of you have seen when right before the scene starts, there's a person and they go lights, camera, action, and they clap. Now, I don't personally know that, and I'm going to show you guys an easier way to deal with it without using the slate. It's as simple. Let me turn on my H1. It's starting up. Okay. Now. Alright, I'm going to start this up, and now the audio from the camera is already running. So I'm going to set this to the side. I'm going to set the H1 right here. Okay? Now just watch clearly. It's really easy. It's a technique that I learned on YouTube and from a lot of different filmmakers. I've seen them do it. In the beginning, right before the scene starts, this is a mark that they do. Instead of using the slate, they do this. Now we'll be using this. It's really close to my mouth, so it's probably loud. Now, as you can hear, the audio is coming from the Zoom H1 instead of coming from the actual camera. This way, it's the same method as a slate. That's a slate board. It makes the same clap noise. It gives you the same exact spike in the waveform, and it lets you synchronize. So, guys, let's go over, and I'm going to show you exactly how to synchronize using Final Cut Pro. Alright, guys, now I'm going to show you how to actually synchronize the audio and the video using Final Cut Pro. So, this is Final Cut Pro open. Let's go ahead and open up the folder with all the files. I have already imported all the files into Final Cut Pro. I'm sorry, onto my computer. Now I'm importing it onto Final Cut Pro. Alright, so what you do is you open up the files. You open up the audio file, which comes from the Zoom H1, and then you open up the video file, which comes from your camera. So let's do the video one first, which is the .mov, and let's bring it up here. As you can see, there it is. That is the audio file. Now if you go up here, where it says mono, this is where the waveform, that's where the waveform is. So if you look, let me do this, that way you can see more of it. This is what I was talking about. This is the actual visual mark that you can see. When you do a huge clap, it leaves a loud mark basically on the waveform. So if you look right here, if you notice, this is the highest mark out of all the other ones. So this is probably most likely the clap. Let's test it. No, you can't. Action number 2. Alright, let's see the first one. Hold on. Action. How you doing, guys? Today I'm going to demonstrate to you. Okay, that is actually the wrong clap. Okay, I'm sorry. That was the first one that I used prior to. But I can actually, let's do this one. This one right here, as you can see, this is the other visual mark that a clap leaves. If you zoom in to this, you can see that it leaves a mark all the way from the top to the bottom. So let's listen in and make sure that this is the correct one. In the slate, you do this. Okay, as you can hear, that is actually the clap. Let's go back to the video and watch. Instead of using the slate, you do this. Okay, so in fact, that is the right one. Let's go back to the mono. Let's back up a little bit, and let's find that mark that we did the first one. So it's right here. Let's zoom in, hold down Z, or you can come right here and click the magnifying glass. And zoom in. Let's back up a little bit by pressing the left directional key. Do this. Okay, so that is in fact the one right here. You see what I'm saying? So this is what we're gonna do. Right there. Why is it doing this? Hold on. Okay, here. Here's the mark. So what you do is you back up and then you go onto the visual mark, and you hear that you heard it. That is actually the clap. So what you do is you hold down M. What M does is it puts a mark on that same exact spot, as you can see up here. If you move it, the M, you see the little red dot? That's the mark. So when you go on your video, the mark is right there. You see? So now let's drag the video down to our timeline. Okay. And if you look right here, is where the clap is. See? Okay. Now, we can go ahead and delete the audio. You can highlight the bottom part. Highlight the bottom part and then just press delete. Now all you have is the video with no audio. So now let's go over back to the left side and grab the audio file from the Zoom H1. And you do the same exact thing. Now if you look, it's a lot of rattle right there. That's from the beginning for me trying to put it on the actual mount. So let's just, this is one by itself, so let's check to see if that's the one. Okay, now just watch clearly. It's really okay, it's not. So it has to be this one right over here. Let's zoom in. Let's back up and let's listen in. In the slate, they do this. Okay, as you can hear, now that is in fact the clap. Zoom in as much as you can, and again using the left directional key, just back up a little bit, and then the first one right there. As soon as you can only go as far, so you go right, you hit the right key, boom. That's the mark that you want to mark. That's exactly where you want to mark, because that's where the clap initially starts. You hold down the letter M, boom, it leaves a mark. You back up, the mark is right there. So what you do is you go up here and you drag this down to your timeline. So now what happens is, let's unclick this. You see what happens is it lines it up exactly how you want it. So you zoom in, hold down the Z key or hit the magnifying glass and zoom in as much as you can. This one is already lined up. Sometimes when you do it, it'll be like this. So the reason for you to actually zoom in is to grab the bottom portion of the grab the audio portion and line it up with the video portion. And that's how you zoom in all the way until you can't zoom in no more. There's no more plus sign on the magnifying glass. That's as far as you can go. That is exactly what you wanted to do. Now you can cut it using the razor or hold down the hold down the B key, and you see how it lines up directly. You can cut it right there. Boom. Cut it. Oops. Okay, cut it right there. Delete this portion of it, and let's delete this portion, just so you guys can see the effect. Now let's delete, just so I can show you guys how it works. Okay. Let's render this bad boy real quick. Okay. Now it's done rendering. Let me demonstrate how it works. And then do it. In the beginning, right before the scene starts, this is a mark that they do. Instead of using the slate, they do this. Now that's exactly how it works. As you can see, everything is synchronized. They do this. Now and that's pretty much it, guys. You line up the red dots, and then obviously rendering takes a while, but after you render it, you'll notice as long as the three red dots, because the zoom, the audio file has left and right channels. So once the three dots are lined up, you're good. You're pretty much good to go. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I hope this tutorial helped you out. I might have talked too much. It might be longer than I thought. But in any case, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them down below in the comment section or follow me on Twitter. I'll leave all the links right here. Twitter, Facebook, or just email me. Anyway, guys, have a good night, have a good day, wherever you are. Peace!